Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of F-Zero Ending It All. Last time, Tinsel Steelus actually participated in the Elite Big Blue race, and she has actually won first while she reunited with an old friend named Leon who took second, and together they actually triumphed in the dolphin dive and actually got rid of Baba. They actually defeated Dark Million during that race. And so, Tinsel Steelus continues to look for the task force. So without further delay, let's get on with the show. Alright, Lap 5. Tinsel and Leon headed to the Falcon House. Bert and Clank met the hungry hound. Wow, Tinsel, you never cease to amaze us. You've conquered that big blue race. Yes, this is her second first-place victory. Congratulations. Thanks. I also met a friend there. His name is Leon. He's from the planet Zao. And he's also an orphan like you are, as he lost his parents in a huge war there. He loves kids, and even he's the head of an orphanage. Really? That's great! Do you mind if I pet you? Not at all. Suit yourself. He lowered himself a little so the kid would reach his head. However, he just held out one of his hands. I was taught to let a dog lick me before I can touch it. Sure enough, Leon did. He never minded the gentle caress on his face. It's been a long time since someone actually petted me, let alone an earthling. Just like any other dog. You're cute. Leon blushed at Clank's comment. Seems you two are rather hungry. Can I fix you up something? Sure. They both faced him and spoke. Give us your best. Bert made a raw fish platter for Tinsel consisting of sushi and shellfish, while Leon got tender meat with bones. They thanked him gladly as they dove in. The patrons looked as they heard muttering coming from the entrance. The ringing door was no problem for a muscular man. He looked very strong and fit with his stature and ripped body, and he was holding 3 large cases, though his partner had to struggle a little. He was enormous and had magenta skin. He also had 2 pointed ears and a couple feelers, plus a large nose, and his abdomen was enormous. Just suck it in and tuck in your gut, Draq. Going sideways. They were all agog on how much of the air the large alien took in. Oh, look, my latest universal delivery's here. Thanks, Roger and Draq. No problem. The wrestler put down the heavy packages on the counter. Delivering is what we do best. I can see why. Drinks are on me. All right! Drek let out a huge grin showing his shiny, pointed teeth. Unfortunately, he had to stand since the stools may not hold his weight. As he passed out the beer, a pitcher for the pink guy, and a fresh tall can for Roger, Bert introduced the onlookers. Guys, I'd like you both to meet Tinsel, Leon, and Clank. Hey, I know you, Tinsel. You were here with Rick one time. She looked at Roger quizzically. Huh? Have we met? You don't look familiar. I knew you a few months ago. You were here with Rick and Lucy. We met the sick kid in a wheelchair. Roger Buster told her he was the one who made a deal with a child at the Falcon House. A boy named Alias was scheduled for heart surgery next week. And then there was the Fake Star Cup. Oh yeah, I remember that fateful race. But I couldn't recall you were there. She wasn't able to make it since the ballot was full. Fortunately, she avoided a catastrophe as each machine had to slow down and remain in the orange zone. Dark Million attached a bomb sensor on each of them, and if they went too low or too high from the orange zone, they would explode. She grew suspicious of the incident, and she could have sworn she saw Falcon leap off the course intentionally and disable a blimp nearby. Roger's incentive was to give the kid very rare mangoes from another planet, while Rick wanted to win to fulfill his promise to him, and they made a handshake to make it official. She remembered he was put on probation for quite a while after that. Somehow Drac was involved and then forgiven by his partner. That was when he described his encounter with Miss Killer and her demand on giving her all his profits during the race in order for the bombs to be deactivated. And he couldn't fight against her since he's no interest in assaulting women, and he cared about his business a little too much. Huh, so that's why I haven't met you. So tell me, have you found any owners of those machines yet? Sadly, no, the pink creature said as his head drooped. Roger slapped him on the shoulder. Hey, lighten up, big guy. At least we could still use them. Roger asked if there was something funny. It's just, I always consider you as a wrestler than a racer. Sometimes I even train at the gym, as does Draq. They say he could lift up something as heavy as 5 tons, which is why he's an excellent partner. Although he may seem intimidating, he's a gentle giant. Good to know. Yeah, and he also owns the Mighty Typhoon, whereas Roger has the Mighty Hurricane. It's kind of hard to tell the difference. Both models appeared on Clank's tablet as he analyzed them. But that's not all. Draq is a longtime fan of the F-Zero races where he competes as a pilot in the Mighty Typhoon. We first participated in the F-Zero race 5 years ago. Then we heard about the horrific accident. That brought back some painful memories for Leon. So I've heard. She wasn't there, but she did hear it from Falcon last year. The bounty hunter told her, you and Joey, there was a death tournament for the universe's most talented. He was a part of it and was about to win first in Firefield, until someone caused a cataclysm on the track. Rumors began to spread that Pico did it due to his reckless driving, but he knew for sure it was Black Shadow. He remembered being hospitalized after that, and his DNA was stolen by him in order to make the perfect champion. That was how Blood Falcon came into being. At least Dr. Robert Stewart saved as many as he could. There were 14 casualties, and there was also a pilot that was lucky to be alive as he had his body replaced by mechanical parts. He was known as the Mighty Gazelle, a very high-functioning robot, and Super Arrow was the one who escaped unscathed, winning the race. Wow, that's so tragic. It's true, Clank. Even I've heard of this chaotic event. According to Roger, his partner's full name was Roger Draq. People always call him Draq for short. The machine itself is quite unlike Draq, as it is lightweight and has excellent acceleration and boost abilities. Sometimes he has difficulty getting himself out of the cockpit because of his enormous size. He worked with him in the shipping business. For years, Draq had idolized such racers as Silver Nielsen and the Skull, despite himself being older than the run-down geezer. Oh boy, Tinsel said about the formerly deceased Sterling Levon. You'd better watch out for this guy. I hear he's the most lethal since he's a master of the black arts. Roughly 5 years ago, before the X competition, Draq and Roger came across two machines tagged with an unknown recipient and no return address. Draq quickly convinced Roger to let them enter the machines in the last Grand Prix, telling him that they would surely be recognized if the pilot should watch them, and the rightful owners would come forward to claim them. No one did, however, and the two have decided to try again during the GX race. Still there was no such luck. Draq hopes to this day to win a Grand Prix himself before the owners come to claim the machines. Then he could use the prize money to buy a craft of his own. Hey, I also wanted to make an F-Zero museum, Roger, Boatman concluded. He actually practices his racing techniques by playing the video games. That's weird. I never saw any games like that in the orphanage. I didn't even know they existed. I wonder how they got him prepared as an F-Zero racer. It's not entirely the same. Meanwhile, during the socializing in the Falcon House, they didn't know something treacherous is afoot. A trailer bed was being laid out in the dark parking lot. Two F-Zero vehicles were loaded onto it, and a legendary samurai and his gang were making the operations. The only thing that was noticeable was his long blade. Come Come on, you lowlifes! Hurry up before someone would see us! We'll get these two out of here, honey, replied a woman with long wavy teal hair. She was poking out from the driver's side window of their truck. Yeah, don't sweat it, Dad. The 10-year-old boy spoke in an easy voice peeking from the opposite window. He also had a lengthy sword sticking out from a back scabbard. He was wearing nothing but goggles and torn clothes showing off his tan legs and chest. Roger and Draq always go for drinks after their deliveries. This'll be the perfect opportunity. The attractive woman's teeth shined as did her eyes while she sneered. The Mighty Typhoon and the Hurricane were lifted, making the truck have an obnoxious noise. That caused Leon's ears to perk up. Leon? Clank asked after the wild dog Hurley looked outside and whimpered. The room fell silent, and he could hear some heavy machinery as it beeped and clanked. Through the back window they made out the commotion. Hey! Someone's trying to steal our machines! Roger stormed out and the rest of the crew followed. Draq still struggled as he exited. Hey! Are you the ones who own these machines? From the shadows a samurai warrior emerged. Why do we need ownership when we can just take what is rightfully ours? That's Samurai Goroh, the pilot of the Fire Stingray, the leader of the nefarious space bandits. What are you doing here? Ah, Tinsel, so at last we meet again. I've wanted to repay you from taking each Grand Prix victory away from me as you helped that bastard Captain Falcon, and also for spilling the beans to Rick on who I was. You'll pay dearly for that. There was a flashback to the day when they first saw each other. Rick was retrieving stolen medicine as kids across the universe were suffering from severe ailments. Somehow Tinsel followed him to Red Canyon, and he was trying to look for Samurai Goroh, who was responsible for the loot. She managed to use her comet's ice beams to freeze and break the bars that kept the detective at bay. She told Rick all about her encounters with him, including her rivalry at the first Grand Prix and watching Falcon beat him in a death race. We've noticed that the task force has been disbanded. There's practically no one who could stop us now. Ha ha ha! Maybe not, but we can. Try as you might, you can't win. You're gonna get it the hard way. The kid stuck out his sword in his tongue. The truck sped up and it disappeared within the darkness before Roger ran up to it. Those confounding thieves! We'll never catch them and get those machines back. Clank, can you get a fix on the Hurricane and the Typhoon's location? I would, but it's gonna require some hacking. Anything to get our cars returned in one piece, boy. After some vigorous work, Clank received a signal from the Mighty Hurricane and the Typhoon. Since he was the one who made the profile pages for every F-Zero pilot, as well as the records, he was able to hack into the vehicles in order to see where they were going. It was thanks to him that, according to the foreign coordinates, he stated to the team they were heading to Red Canyon, particularly where the bandits' hideout was. I should have known. This place is very dangerous. Toughen up, Draq. Do you want to get them back or not? Don't worry, guys. We can help. Now you're talking. I'm sure you can't do this alone. There's no way two people could stand up to a whole gang of thieves. I promise I won't let you down. If I contact my friends, we could do it, I'm sure. I'm certain Rick will do the same, Tinsel. You're starting to be more like him already. Thanks, Bert. That made her feel so good just hearing his name and taking the initiative. She went to her comet and called Gomer and Shio as well as Beastman to help out. She wasn't able to get Octoman's comm number, though. She and Leon will plan the pursuit tomorrow morning and make their way to the Savage territory. Of course, everyone will need a decent shut-eye first. During the journey through the war gates, Tinsel informed her friends on the vengeful desert warrior, although some of the info was provided thanks to Clank. Goroh was a well-known Japanese sword wielder, then he competed in the first Grand Prix to modify his machine, and test its abilities while he became a bounty hunter much like Falcon. While it was recorded to be the fastest machine out of the 4 original pilots aside from the Comet, it was rumored that the Fire Stingray was actually stolen property considering he's a thief. In the death race in X, he and Falcon were paired together. Aside from Falcon, his other rival was Antonio Guster, Lisa's elder brother. Brilliant was known to be some kind of seductress and criminal when she happens to be Goroh's wife. She even tried to take away Jack's Astro Robin, at least that's what Tinsel heard. Guster was also Goroh's former friend in the police force, but something went awry and the samurai was blamed for the incident. They had a bit of right relationship ever since, and Lisa and their son Goroh constantly got caught in the middle of their wicked web of corruption. Lisa owns the Panzer Emerald, which was a strong body, weak acceleration, but decent handling. The Fire Stingray consists of the same stats as the former, and Silverette is weak both in steering and endurance, but has incredibly high speed. Coincidentally, its stats spell out Dad, perhaps a tribute to his old man. Rumor has it that it was based off his uncle's Green Panther. As they finally went through, they felt dry and tense seats surrounding them. At first, she thought she was heading to the wrong direction toward Firefield instead. Fortunately, they kept following the beacon to a desolate, open badland. It was almost endless, and someone could easily get lost there and get buried alive in quicksand, or worse, get killed if they happened to end up in an ambush. Yep, they were certainly in Red Canyon, all right. And they were in loads of crap as they saw the gang protecting their hideout. Near the mountainside, there were some flags having a Japanese symbol that represented their clan. Through his binoculars, he murmured as he saw the machines. Looks like we got ourselves some fresh meat. He licked his lips. Either he was going to kill them or just steal away their craps. He was in the center of the stone fortress by the time they parked. Lisa and Di were beside him. So you guys are here to retrieve your precious machines, huh? That's right. For Silver Comet taking the middle, followed by the Angler and the others. Yeah, well, you're out of luck since it's considered to be our property. Your property! Who the bloody hell says this is legitimately your property? You guys are nothing but a bunch of vile floating around the galaxy. Watch out, Roger! You two are delivery men. You should know how the ways of Red Canyon works. Tinsel had the right idea, as did everyone else. You know the law in Red Canyon? If you lose the race, you forfeit your machine. If you guys remember Chapter 2 in F-Zero GX, you would know. This was not turning in Roger's favor. We're here to get our machines back. You better give us the mighty machines or we will pummel you mercilessly. I'm afraid you cannot do that. The group was surrounded by crooks drawing out their swords toward them. Nobody messes with my dad, Goroh pouted as he put his arms on his hips. What should we do with them? Toss them away? Nah, just take them away. For the moment. Goroh snapped his fingers and the pirates immediately bounded their arms behind them. Roger and Draq were incapacitated by their spiked boots as they tried to fight back. Clearly, they were desperate to reobtain their machines. They forced them down in front of the stronghold. Tinsel's plan certainly backfired, and the pressure was put on her and her friends. How would they expect to save the task force now if they can't save themselves? Goroh unsheathed his sword and pointed toward the group. Now, you have 2 choices, dickweeds. You can either leave peacefully, we will take your machines without any bloodshed, or, if you dare to resist, we challenge you to a race to the checkpoint and back under our discretion. And if you lose, your pathetic lives along with your cargo shall be ours. Take your pick. Most of the guys were quivering with fear. They knew they were going to die either way. I will challenge you, Goroh! In the distance, a familiar baritone was heard. Everyone looked incredibly shocked at the masked figure in blue. He donned on a helmet with a metallic golden etching of a bird. He also had on thick yellow gloves, a laser gun attached to his torso, and long boots of the same color. There was a shoulder plate on the right, symbolizing it to be a wing of sorts. They all realized he was none other than Captain Falcon! Both the bandits and the victims chorused his name. You! What are you doing here, you pesky fowl? Can't you see I'm trying to cut these crooks a few breaks? They do not deserve this. Let them go. That is if someone is willing to challenge you in your death race. I'm afraid it's invalid, for you see my crew claimed the machines as are rightfully ours. They'd shown 2 receipts as proof, putting the hapless Roger and Draq into despair. However, Falcon wasn't convinced. He responded coolly. Is that it? You really think they could be accepted? Those signatures are nothing but forgeries. Those receipts have been typed haphazardly. They don't even match their license numbers. Even the Internova police force would laugh at it. How dare you!